Fight over Fernfeld. Going to be the map. Very, very wide open. Even more wide open than Fjords. We've seen Fjords a couple times today. But this is going to be quite different. Oh, whoops. I need to bring down the brackets.
I feel like this map is almost like what Dunes should have been.
Yeah.
Just very big, wide open. It doesn't have the stupid sandstorms, and it has a lot more terrain. And the terrain is centered around center map. Those are basically the changes that I've always been suggesting for Dunes, but I guess just making 2v2 version of Fight over Fernfeld solves that problem.
Yeah, it works. All right, let's check out the ship loadouts. First up, we have the Centurions. They're bringing the Aesir, a Mobula being piloted by Scrimscraw, and he's doing it. Banshee up top with Gatlings on the lower decks. Flamethrower on the port wing. Banshee on the starboard. They're also bringing the RAS Just Wing It. Goldfish being piloted by Assault Pig. Hellhound on the front with Banshee portside. Flamethrower starboard.
And on the red team, the Praetorians,
Blue team.
Blue.
You've done that twice now.
We have the RAS Bones' Taco Shack, piloted by Lazy Pandas, and crewed by Bones'. It is a heavy carronade goldfish with flamers on either side. Their ally, the RAS Mars, a galleon, piloted by Jub. It has left side lumberjack, Watcho Hades, right side double heavy carronade with a rear flare gun.
Already looks like we're going to be seeing action, potentially. Bones' Taco Shack and Mars, working the way around. This is a very interesting position for the Centurions. The Aesir is way far back here in the corner. Look at this nonsense.
I think just wing it. They want to know where blue team is going. They're scouting high, and once they know where blue team's position is, I imagine they'll probably retreat back to the Mobula and formulate a new plan. At least that would be my guess.
Look how far back the Aesir is. Look at that. Just press your map button and look at this.
Scrim, previously of the Glowwater Thralls, may they rest in peace, known for some of the widest flanks in the land, so...
Yeah, no kidding. I think what he's doing in this case is he really wants to run this Mobula build, but if he gets spotted out early, that's the end of the engagement. Like, it's practically done. They have to go back and try again. So, they're having the Just Wing It go way out ahead, try and spot the ships, figure out where they are, and then as soon as the Centurions know where the Praetorians are, they'll get into position. Just Wing It took a lot of damage there.
That's literally what I just spent 20 seconds saying.
It's like, well, kind of. It's just so surprising to see the Aesir so far back. Yeah, he's hanging out really low. Look at this. Down behind the cover. He can rise up whenever he wants to.
But will they really catch the Praetorians by surprise? They must expect this. Not just knowing Scrim, but like you see their ally, you don't know where the Mobula is. They're probably hiding. They're probably planning to use their vertical ascension speed to their advantage to try to pop up and surprise them. So knowing that, it's probably not going to be much of a surprise.
The fact that Scrimscraw does so many surprise attacks kind of defeats the purpose of a surprise attack, huh?
Yeah. Especially on a map like this where it's wide open, you kind of see them coming. Maybe on a map with more tight corners, you can sort of force them into a spot where even if they know it's coming, they don't necessarily know what angle, and they're kind of stuck in an alley and not able to retreat. But I'm not sure how well it will work on Fernfeld against an experienced opponent.
Yeah, the concern is doubled because you have a galleon, and you're going to be trying to charge the galleon, but look at the space that the Mars is occupying right now. It's so open. It's going to be really hard for the Aesir to actually close distance without getting lumberjacked down.
And I'm also not sure how well this... I mean, I assume like how these ships are going to be matching up in the fight, or at least how they're aiming to. The Just Wing It, I imagine, is probably going to try to go for the Mars, while the Aesir goes for the Goldfish, because the Aesir, like the
Austin is
Banshees,
spotted.
do have killing power, but it's going to take a while to take down a galleon since they don't have any mortar. They don't have like the raw, pure damage of a mortar to do those heavy chunks.
Yeah. Or an echidna.
Right.
Just Wing It moving in. Aesir going to move in as well. The Bones has gotten a little bit close, but the Mars is quickly turning its guns to face the Aesir. This is going to be difficult. Watcher goes out, but it all goes into the balloon, doing nothing. Now the Lumberjack comes out. One shot misses. Two shots missed. Only one has landed in the balloon, and I think the Aesir has done it. It's close distance with its balloon intact. It drops now, but they're well within range, and their Banshees are going on the Mars. The Mars brings their armor back up, but they're tanking hard. Lumberjack comes out. Aesir's armor is exposed. No flak, though. They have the Hwacha, not the flak. Bones is able to get behind the Aesir. Lots of Hwacha damage going to the hull of the Aesir, but the Just Wing It is right there to protect its ally. They get the ram. Doesn't throw their angle off. The ground will, though. Banshee.
Getting some nice pot shots with the Banshee, yeah. Aesir, they did not do... They had a great initiation on the Mars, but they were not able to do much damage. Those Banshees just don't have the firepower. But the Taco Shack, they're in disrepair as well, so...
Armor down on the Mars. They're going for the Galleons. Banshees are there, too. They brought the Mars down to half. Bones' Taco Shack is also looking not so great. Carronade going out on the Aesir. They have double Carronade. They may be able to pop the balloon. The Aesir wants this height advantage. They're keeping the Gatling going. When will the armor drop? It burns out. Now the Aesir has a chance. Banshees come out. Mars tanking it.
The heavy carronades from the Mars doing a huge amount of damage to the Aesir.
That was surprising.
Just Wing It. Yeah, those heavy carronades, those big hit scan weapons, man, they come out of nowhere.
They're not hit scan. They have a short travel time. Boneses now turning on the Just Wing It, dropping the armor, dropping the balloon, and I think that's all she wrote for this first engagement. They're dropping. I see your spawns pretty far off. They just need to let this one go.
Grumble, grumble, hit scan, grumble.
It's not hit scan.
Yeah, Aesir's build, the double Ganshi, double Ganshi.
Ganshi.
Double Gatling, double Banshee, seems catered specifically for taking down enemy Pyramidians. But it doesn't have the firepower to finish off a galleon.
Yeah, you saw that.
There were two separate opportunities where if they had a mortar instead, it would have been an easy kill. And just, like, the Banshees were flying, you know. They have that greased ammo in, just dumping into the Mars. And, you know, the health just ticking down, like, you know, 2 or 3% at a time. Just not able to kill quick enough.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things about this Mobula, is it needs to be able to take out its enemy quickly. And the idea behind the double Banshee is that the two Banshees together do so much more damage, but you saw, without a pilot at the helm holding it steady, the Banshee's been a little bit wide sometimes. And of course, they just don't have that raw damage potential like you were talking about. Maybe if they, like you were saying, maybe if they had a mortar, even an Echidna might have been good too. I know that sometimes when other pilots run that Brawlbula with the double Gatling, they have them take heavy clip instead to make sure that every shot lands, because 2 Gatlings, even with heavy clip, is going to be enough to bring down the armor of pretty much anything. And then they also get disabling potential from it as well.
But at the same time, though, they sort of need all the DPS they can get. Even with double greased, it wasn't enough. So heavy, like, that's just more lost damage potential.
Yeah.
As for the Echidna, like, I feel like against maybe a Pyramidian or something along that lines, the Echidna would be all right. But against a Galleon, like, especially when you're probably going to be charging, you want to charge into the close. You want to get in close on the long range side of the Galleon, so you're within the arming time. so they're not able to do much damage. And
Yeah, but
by
look
doing
at the
that,
Hwacha.
you're also putting yourself within your own arming time. Well, yeah, but you're usually coming in high above the Hwacha gun arcs, and with that close positioning, the Echidna's not going to do much damage either. So it's really kind of Banshee, Mortar, maybe Artemis. Those are kind of your three options for close range explosive.
All right, here we go. Just Wing It and Boneses have been spotted out. So has the Mars. The ships are revealed. Now the Aesir, once again, with this knowledge, has an opportunity to put itself in a good position to flank. But again, it's going to be difficult. Mars taking up a great position here, going to cover any possible approach that the Aesir could use. And now, despite the fact that the Praetorians are pretty damaged, they can just buy time.
And you see the blue team moving north now. They're expecting Scrimscraw to flank north, so
yeah, totally.
they're already preempting this movement.
And in fact, that's exactly what he's doing. He's going farther north, trying to avoid these ships. He's got the info from his ally. Will it be enough? Mars is closing in. Aesir dropping down, may be able to use this cover.
They are spotted, so they have confirmed that that is where the Aesir is, and looks like Takashat's going to go in to initiate the fight.
Yeah, he's going in hard. He has a buffed Carronade, and now the Mars has arcs on the Aesir. They're going to burn Hydro, trying to dodge out of the way. They throw Banshees out at the Bones' Taco Shack.
That was a beautiful Hydra. The vertical level was perfect when they stopped, just above the heavy Carronade, but close enough that they could get the Gatling Banshees. And the Taco Shack, as a result, taking a lot of damage, although they did manage to get the balloon disable once they equalized.
Now we have this second Goldfish coming in. Just Wing It, trying to pull the Bones' Taco Shack off of the Aesir, but even as it does, the Mars has arcs. Hwacha goes wide. Little bit of a reprieve there, but as soon as it reloads, it's going to load in again. Hades landing pretty well. Lumberjack lands, and the Aesir is flying low. This is dangerous. They've got to get that balloon up quickly. They do.
Yeah,
all hands on repairs.
The Taco Shack seemingly getting the bad end of the fight, managing to get just one disable onto the Just Wing It's heavy Carronade, now turning the fight in its favor. And with the supportive fire from the Mars coming in to help, they're actually doing a lot of damage to the Red Goldfish.
God, that Hwacha was so on point. Who's on that Hwacha? Who is on that Hwacha? Sapphire Sage. Oh, yeah, I was saying. The gunners on the Mars have gotten really good. Ooh, Aesir rising up, though. Ready to make something happen. Hwacha, mostly ineffectual. Now the Aesir has its chance, and the Gatlings are going in.
Yeah, and the Mars is low enough that they could actually probably get a kill here, and they do.
Yeah, they do. Scrim jumps up on that Banshee. Picks up the kill. Yeah, when it's that low, you can do something with those Banshees. Now Bones' Taco Shack, trying to get away here. Just Wing It, aiming for that main engine, but I don't think they can get it. They're just going to kerosene away.
See ya!
Still, though, that was one kill. They got a lot of damage on the Just Wing It. So not a total wash. They're going to come back with a full hull Galleon. And the Aesir has to start the process all over again.
Although I imagine Taco Shack, they're probably going to be defocused in this next fight. They are,
yeah, certainly,
very low, and you know, as we just saw, Banshee's very good at picking off a damaged target. So Taco Shack's going to have to be very careful with their positioning, and Red Team as well, because if they spend too long focusing on the blue Goldfish, the Mars, they also cannot let the Mars get too much damage in while they're focusing the Goldfish, and we see that already starting with the Just Wing It's balloon going down.
Yep, good defense. They're worried right now. The Aesir has been spotted. And that will deter it, I think. It's stopping. It's backing up. And the Centurions are going to have to find another angle of approach, but they're going to have to find it fast, because here comes the Mars. Gunners are ready and in position. Great downward arcs on the Lumberjack. Of course. And they're going for the Asir. They want to make sure that Mobula doesn't have a single chance.
Taco Shack actually pulling forward a little bit. He has to be careful here because the Mars, if red team charges forward, they'll actually get outside the Mars's gun arcs. And you see Asir finally doing that. But he sort of left his ally to defend with the Galleon himself. Ooh!
They lost their balloon.
Lumberjack.
Great Lumberjacks. Like I was saying, that Lumberjack is so dangerous. And they go down. Just wing it. Now all alone, and the Mars has great arcs on it. They're trying to get carronade shots into the guns of the Mars. The Hades is raining in, so is the Lumberjack. Armor drops. Hull's not looking great. Lumberjack gonna chip away at it. They bring up the armor, but the balloon's still down. There it comes, but the Bones' Taco Shack is here to provide flamethrower support. They get the nudge into the balloon, and the carronade picks up the kill.
Yeah, that Lumberjack fire was just on point, totally turning the tide of that engagement. Like, if Acer, if they'd kept their balloon, managed to clear that path, they probably would have had the kill on the Taco Shack, and we would have been looking at a very different game with the Mars then kind of left on their own, and probably allowing red team to even it up. But just the Lumberjack shots, man. The timing was fantastic.
Yeah, it really was. And then the Asir got caught. It wasn't sure whether it wanted to go in or not. Scrimscrawl was getting a little bit indecisive. He said, maybe I don't want to go in. The Mars is right there. It's got arcs in, but I need to go in at some point. I'm spotted. They're going to be able to track me really well. I may as well, but I don't know. And then during that time, the Mars got in position, lost his balloon, got dropped down into a significantly higher bit of terrain than he intended.
I almost wonder if the Centurions weren't necessarily aware of the exact positioning of the Mars, because I'd like to think that a team like this, they would be able to identify when they could go for the kill, because if they, like you said, they were a little hesitant. If they had been more aggressive, if they had charged in immediately, they probably would have been able to take out the Taco Shack and left the Mars in a bad spot. But just that hesitation, I don't know, it makes me think that maybe they're lacking the information they needed to make a commitment.
Yeah, maybe. I agree with you on that one. Now, again, they're going to try this one more time.
And do note that even if the Centurions lose here, they will have one more game to try to redeem themselves and take the tournament. Since they are coming from winner's bracket, they start with the lead.
Well, the Praetorians versus Centurions match earlier was significantly closer than this. It was 5-4 and the Centurions took it. Just wing it, loses armor. There's no way they can capitalize on it, though. And the Asir...
That was on Fjords, right?
Yes.
Like, I feel like kind of a cozier map with more cloud cover is something that favors Scrim's piloting style. So this very wide open map is something that's definitely playing into their detriment. And allowing the Galleon having all this open air is really a boon for blue team.
Yeah, we see Galleons a lot on Fight Over Fernfeld. It's very common. I really think that this Mobula build is a mistake for this map. Is it a mistake in general? No. But for this map, it's way too hard for the Mobula to close distance.
And I think it's a mistake to bring against the Galleon as well. Just not having enough damage potential to get a kill on such a tanky ship.
Now, I'm asking Alistair for the time. Not sure how much is left. We don't actually get a timer, unfortunately. Just wing it, though, going in. Alistair says, oops. What does oops mean?
Well, specifically, he said ops.
Specifically,
so what does ops mean?
Just wing it, gets spotted, takes a little bit of damage to its balloon. Nothing he can't deal with. See her down low. He's been spotted, though. And the Mars is going to have Lumberjack arcs in no time. They have it. They're just not taking the shots yet. Here we go. And the Asir already taking hits. Great Lumberjack shooting. Even as this Galleon moves, goes down. Lumberjack's tracking pretty well. They were able to land one.
Well, Acer's making good use of this little piece of terrain, actually, this hardcover blocking the shot, so they're relatively safe. Looks like just wing it. They're gonna start this fight. They're bearing down onto the Mars, gonna try to get a balloon to save with the heavy carronade.
Yeah, they have the buffed carronade. They popped the Mars's balloon, and now next step going to be the front guns.
Unfortunately, they lost their own and flew into
No, they didn't. They didn't lose their gun, but oh god, a seer comes in from behind. Bones' Taco Shack got too aggressive, and now the Mars in a lot of trouble here. It's grounding out. Asir's got Gatling and Banshee.
Oh, and the Mars actually grinding against the terrain, doing a lot. You know, that's one way. Banshees may not be able to get the kill, but the terrain will certainly help.
Chip, 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 chip.
Yeah. And
Seer
actually,
picks up the kill.
I meant they just wing it, losing their balloon, not their gun. So they actually fell down into the watch arcs of the galleon, and that put them out of the fight for a little bit.
So right now, timer is up in the air?
There's no way this match has been 40 minutes long.
No, it hasn't.
You know, he just said in the chat that it was supposed to end 20 minutes ago. That can't be right.
Yeah, that's not true. I think he meant the tournament, maybe? Concerning. Either way, both teams going to take a defensive posture as right now nobody's certain about time. People are a bit confused and concerned, I think. Well, in the meantime, saying organizer, call it. Call what? This is concerning. Right now the rules.
Looks
All
like
right, well, he's calling time out. He's calling time up, it looks like. So he's saying time's up. If that's so, then the Praetorians win this game 4-3, I think.
all the players typing their exclamations of confusion in the game chat.
Referee calling a pause. Kind of.
You know what would solve this fourth oracle?
An in-game timer?
Yes.
I know, right?
Feedback at musegames.com.
Blocks. Yeah, Muse has notoriously not really done much for competitive Goyo. They've got spec mode, so that's nice. And they put some pretty cool features in spec mode. And they did put in the RAM cam and the gunner cam.
How often do you actually use the RAM cam, though?
I use it a lot.
I think it's a silly feature.
I think it's a great feature. I actually don't use it as much for rams. I use it for forward-facing ships when they're moving in on enemies.
It's like a shark view or something, like dun, like Jaws, like that kind of point of view that you would see in Jaws, as a close in on unsuspecting beachgoer.
It's really great for goldies too, because you can see the front gun as well.
You know what I wish they would add for spectator mode? First person. Like, you do get to see the first person when they're on a gun, but I would like to see, say, the perspective of an engineer when they're repairing stuff. I think that would be cool. Being able to kind of follow, like, a top-tier crewman throughout an entire match or something like that.
Alright, looks like the teams are fighting anyway. Don't know what's going on. The time has certainly run out now.
I don't think they're fighting. I think they're just floating around in fogs of confusion. They don't know. They're not sure what to do. The referee seems now confused as well.
Alright guys, so I'm making an executive decision. This match will be called based on a beauty pageant. Whoever has the coolest visual loadout.
Look, man, that double gat, double banshee, that's real hot. I can't. I mean,
Real hot.
I think Scrim's got my vote.
I like this this gas mask though on Kit Kat Kitty.
Oh, are we? Oh, based on player build?
Player.
I thought you meant the ship build. Like,
No. Player.
The double
builds.
banshee really gets me going, I have to say. So the Praetorians win. That means we will be playing one more match today in this grand finals.
Yep.
I believe that will be on Water Hazard as well.
Yeah, Water Hazard is going to be our final map. And I think we're going to have a timer this time. All comes down to this. Praetorians won the first match when they faced off back in the semifinals of the winner's bracket. 4-5. But in the last match, we saw Praetorians face off on Fight Over Fernfeld, making good use of the Mars's range. And now it's anyone's game. 0-0. Let's begin. First off, for the Praetorians, we have the RAS Just Wing It, a goldfish being piloted by a salt pig. It's a blenderfish, Hellhound Heavy Carronade on the front, Banshee on the port side, Flamethrower on the starboard. They're also bringing the Asir once more. Scrim wants to get this work. Working. Banshee up top, Gatlings in the lower decks, Flare on the port wing, and another Banshee on the starboard wing.
And on the blue team, the Praetorians, we have Wrath
Centurion, this is Centurions.
No,
on this side.
Blue team
They
is the
swapped.
Praetorian.
They
No,
swapped.
blue team's... Scrim is on the is playing for the Centurions.
Oh, okay, they're keeping the same sides. Whoops.
Wrath of the Dishwasher,
launch.
Heavy Carronade Goldfish, Pod of Lazy Pandas. It has the left and right side Flamethrower. Their ally, the RAS Mars, Pod by Jub Jub. They have the left side Hades Lumberjack Watcher, right side Double Heavy Carronade, and the rear Flare Gun. So same team compositions that we saw in the last match. Let's see how it works.
There we
on
go.
Water Hazard.
Brackets. I finally forgot it, and it was in the final match. Spot's already down. Just Wing It. Getting back behind cover, and once again, we're seeing the flanking maneuvers from the Centurions.
Yeah, a little bit of a smaller map this time, but last week we saw the Mars making extremely good usage of these tall spires, just rotating back and forth, using the terrain to their advantage, getting nice angles. The Mobula's not able to use these terrain pieces as well. What the Mobula wants is terrain that comes up to about half the height, the flight ceiling, so they can kind of go up and down. But these spires extend all the way up, so not much use to the fat ship.
Just Wing It, now engaging on the Wrath Dishwasher. Asir coming around from the other side. Looks like the flank is good, but the Banshees aren't landing the way they need to. Now the Wrath of the Dishwasher dropping down, balloon blocking some of those Banshees. Great flying. Now the Asir eating damage from the Mars. They needed to get that kill quickly, but now the Wrath of the Dishwasher fighting back. Throwing out Carronade into the balloon of the Asir. Their armor drops, and the Wrath of the Dishwasher not quite able to body block them, but the Flamethrower is going to go out in the meantime. Just wing it on the Mars, throwing out Banshee. Armor drops. Hull's exposed, but the Aesir is eating more and more damage. Wrath of the Dishwasher gets a good ram on the Aesir, throws his guns out of arcs, and the next bump gets the kill. And they go flying into the water. Mars, in the meantime, dropping down hard. Wrath of the Dishwasher turning to try and stop the Just Wing It, but they're going to get a nice Goomba Stomp into the water. Armor's still up somehow. Balloon's not looking so great. One more tap will do it. It goes down. Armor's dropping quick. Carronade goes into the hull. The Mars tries to stop it, but the kill goes out anyway. Just Wing It in a lot of trouble now, though. Armor comes back up, drops immediately. Balloon gonna continue dropping over and over again. Holes grinding out in the water, and I think that's all she wrote. 2-0
Yeah, good
in
decision
favor of the Praetorians.
from the Red Goldfish, knowing they're probably not going to be able to get the kill fast enough on the RAS Mars. The Goldfish is going to be the weaker target, so they peeled off, went for the ram, but Wrath of the Dishwasher did a good job tanking. Stayed alive just long enough for the RAS Mars to get their gun arcs back in effect, so at the very least they could trade kills and maintain their lead.
Yeah, Mars took a lot of damage there, so now those Banshees are looking a lot more threatening. They're going to have to play a little... they're playing pretty carefully in the first place, but now the Wrath of the Dishwasher is going to really have to play defense instead of going so aggressive like it did in the last engagement.
Definitely. And Aesir, with very aggressive positioning here, they're moving forward. They want to close the distance. They're going to jump from terrain to terrain and try to get in.
Yeah, he can find his way. He can go the distance. Hello?
Yes?
Okay, I heard a beep. Making sure everything's okay. Mars has arcs on the Aesir. Just Wing It, however, coming in from the side. The Mars is in a lot of danger, and the Carronade drops the balloon real quick. Wrath of the Dishwasher coming in on the Aesir. They're looking for the ram. They get it. Lots of damage. Balloon down. Armor's gonna drop soon. No, the balloon's up. Just barely. And the buffed armor actually saves the Aesir. That's what kept their armor up. And now the Banshees are gonna retaliate. Wrath of the Dishwasher losing their armor again. Flamethrower's going to keep them locked down as the Just Wing It turns over to the Mars. But the Mars gets a good Watcher Barrage into the Aesir. A lot of it goes into the balloon, though. That's going to save their life. Everything's burning, but they're able to pop hydrogen and get just above the Mars. Even though their balloon is out now, they're staying out of arc. And the Banshees should be able to finish them off soon, but the Mars has Drogue Shoot, buying themselves just a little bit of time. Banshee goes into the balloon. They're just trying to drop it. There it goes, and they're going to keep going down, but the Mars is turning their guns into arc. Wrath of the Dishwasher coming in from behind, but I don't think they can get in on the Aesir. Now they're moving in. Just Wing It, turning, trying to stop the Wrath of the Dishwasher, but the Aesir may already have it. Now it's just going to be a matter of keeping this Mobula alive, but they can't.
Keeping what Mobula alive?
Yeah, exactly. Just Wing It gonna ram him right into the water. 3 for 3. And all ships are going to respawn with full perma-hull. What an engagement.
Yeah, I'm collecting my thoughts here. Just like the positioning, Scrimscraw stayed on the helm for most of that fight. They weren't bringing in the double Gatling. He needed that maneuverability. He needed the positioning so that the Mars was not able to bring their powerful weapons into effect, just staying just outside the arcs, just inside the arming time, so they could just keep the suppressive Gatlings, keep the Banshees going. And Wrath of the Dishwasher, I feel like they got juked a little bit. Like, they were sort of left behind. They weren't contributing much to that fight. And Red Team sort of just had their way with the RAS Mars for a lot longer than they should have.
Yeah, I agree. They got juked really hard. And I don't even feel like it was a juke. I feel like it was just a mistake.
Like they didn't, like they flew past and then didn't react very quickly for some reason.
They really didn't. It took them a long time to get back into arc. I don't think it was lag either. I think it was just a bad decision. Now Lumberjacks out on the Just Wing It, but the Aesir is behind cover. It's spotted, but it's behind cover. Great Lumberjack going to lock down the Just Wing It a little bit. They're afraid to move out. And the Centurions are pinned. This is what the Praetorians have needed. This is perfect for the Praetorians. Doesn't get any better than this. This is exactly what we saw in that Sunday community skirmish game where the enemy team gets pinned and the Praetorians just start playing with them, throwing the Mars around into different angles until finally they have nowhere to hide.
Although it looks like Just Wing It may have found an okay angle to knock out the Mars balloon, which may give them what they need to escape from this. Mobula takes this as the opportunity to rise up and charge in.
Wrath of the Dishwasher losing its balloon. Just Wing It going to turn. They're going to take out their Hellhound. Yeah, Hellhound's down on the Just Wing It. They got to get it back up before they can actually help against the Mars. But they say, you know what? The Aesir's got the Mars right now. We just need to defend our Mobula. And now the Wrath of the Dishwasher going on the Aesir, performing double duty. Shooting the Aesir and gonna ram it, as well as throwing out Flamethrower on the Just Wing It. Aesir takes a lot of permahull damage in that ram. Armor drops, balloon drops, and now the Mars has arc. This is dangerous for Scrim's Mobula.
It's kind of dangerous for the Mars, too. They're almost embedded in the wall here. So once they lose their balloon, looks like the Aesir might
They get the Banshee! They get the kill!
Ooh.
They drop the armor. That dedication to the kill was so strong, and the armor's gonna hold. Drogue Shoot's gonna buy him a little bit of time. Wrath of the Dishwasher's coming in, but the Just Wing It has something to say about that, and they are going to chase off this Blenderfish. 4-3 in favor of the Centurions, and the engagement isn't even over yet. Balloon down on the Just Wing It. Their armor's not doing so hot, and they got to get their balloon up quick. They bounce, and they don't take too much damage from that. Now the Wrath of the Dishwasher turning to try and maneuver around this rock, but the Just Wing It is right on him. The Aesir has no hope of catching up. The Mars spawns in, and it's going to have arc shortly. They got to finish off the Dishwasher soon before the Mars can become a part of this fight.
The issue is that the Wrath of the Dishwasher is charging away from their ally, and like now they're in a
jukes. They get bumped, but
it's not much of a juke.
Yeah, they tried. The Aesir coming in now. As soon as they stopped backing up, the Aesir was right there. The Mars has arcs, but it may be too late. Banshees are coming in. Only one though. Aesir needed to make sure that it had its gunner, that had its ship in the correct position, and they pick up the kill.
Yeah, the positioning from the Galleon, yeah, the Banshees did contribute, but the positioning from the Galleon, they landed right on the foot of the mountain. So once their balloon got knocked out, they actually, in concert with the explosive damage from the Banshee, they took a ton of impact damage from the terrain as well, and which contributed to their fast fall.
Yep, Centurions going to pick up the victory. After losing the first game in the finals, they come back in the second game on a map that is much better tailored to that brawling Mobula. And they're going to take it with Scrim's help.